Lord Jesus Christ, and welcome to St. Cyril and Methodius Orthodox Church in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Father Gregory, the pastor. It's good to be with you this morning on Sunday, October 24th. And we're going to have liturgy here in about an hour and a half, but I thought I would talk to you a little bit about something building on what I mentioned yesterday about how we learn from our mistakes by first learning what's true. And to get at that, I want to talk to you a little bit about what St. Paul says in his epistle to the Philippians, the 3rd chapter, about how the unbelievers make their God their belly and their shame their glory. But before that, I want to ask you, do me a favor, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you would please subscribe to our channel, that would be a big help. If you're watching this on my Facebook page or on our parish Facebook page, St. Cyril Methodius Ukrainian Orthodox Mission, if you would please like that and then maybe share the video so that other people can join our conversation. Well, like I said last night, we learn from our mistakes by coming to know the truth that we're mistaken. And specifically, that means coming to know the truth about which we are, or which I am mistaken. The difficulty that we face now is that truth, the idea of truth, has been really consistently undermined for, well, probably almost the whole of my life, and I'm 61. It began with sort of in the 60s with an assault on sexual morality, where things like fornication and sodomy and adultery were no longer considered sins. Now, granted, because they're sins, these are things that have happened in human history and the things the church has always known about. But there was, I think, this attempt to undermine traditional sexual morality. One of the reasons that I think Christians get a bad reputation for being concerned about sex, overly concerned about sex, is that we now live in a culture that is overly concerned about sex, or at least we have been. Now, of course, sexual activity among young people is decreasing. Physical sexual activity, even though pornography use is skyrocketing. With the undermining of sexual morality, and especially because of political reasons, we now find ourselves in a position where people are attacking even empirical reason or empirical truth. Now, of course, we hear about mathematics being merely a Western patriarchal concept. Same with the natural sciences. And so we seem to have found ourselves undermining truth in every corner. And what we're left with really is simply competing attempts to acquire power, which simply creates the very problem which the critics were trying to solve, or we have become that. Basically, they have become that which they hated. St. Paul tells us that this is a result of making our stomach or our belly our God and confusing our glory and our shame. What he means by that is that the inability to discipline our natural desires for food and sexual intimacy result in our deviating, our falling away from the truth. There is a certain moral character that needs to be in place before I can understand that which is true. The truth might be objective, but I'm not able to grasp objective truth if I am not fundamentally a good person, or at least striving to be a good person. This is what St. Maximus the Confessor actually says at one point, is that it's only by ascetical effort, by purification of the heart, that I'm able to perceive reality the way it is, and that includes in the empirical order. Character, virtue, moral virtue is the precondition for knowing the truth, not only ontological truth, not only metaphysical truth, these sort of trends, empirical truths, but even we're now discovering or now realizing empirical quantitative proofs. I need to be a good person in order to perceive the truth, whether ontological or empirical, whether quantitative or qualitative. So if I'm not a good person, if I don't know how to be a good person, I'm going to simply flounder. So what about you? Are you striving to be a good person? Are there things in your life that need to change? Things which make it impossible for you to perceive the truth of your situation or of the world around you? If so, and you're Orthodox, well, come to confession and let's take care of that if we can and help you get back on the road to being a good person. Well, it's a little after 8 o'clock here, about 10 after 8, and I've got to go get ready for liturgy. Hopefully this morning you'll be able to get to liturgy where you are. If you're in the Madison area and you have no place to go to church, please feel free to come to St. Cyril and Methodius at 9:30, whether you're Orthodox or not. And if you're not Orthodox, why not take a look at an Orthodox church? Maybe, again, if you're here in Mad City, come to liturgy, see what we're about. But if you will excuse me, I have got to go get ready for the next thing, which is liturgy. So God bless everyone, and have a good Sunday, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.